I'm Amy Finley, and this is Across the Fence. I'd like to start our show today by shaking a collective fist at COVID for all the things it took from us. Case in point, the Vermont Farm Show. I moved to Vermont in 2021, so I missed out on the chance to attend the farm show, which began in the basement of the Burlington Memorial Auditorium in 1935, 20 years before the debut of Across the Fence. That's amazing. The last farm show was held in January 2020, but the good news is it's coming back. Granted, we reported on this earlier this year, but at that time, news of a reboot was still up in the air. However, and I bet you can guess what I'm about to say, the farm show is now officially back on. Huzzah! Cue the fireworks. Joining me today to talk about plans for the second coming of the Vermont Farm Show, will it look the same, different, are Theresa Snow, president of the board for the Vermont Farm Show, and Dave Martin, the organization's treasurer. Theresa and Dave, welcome. I'm so excited to be here today. Like I was chatting a little bit with both of you beforehand, this is one of those pieces of Vermont that I've just missed out on, because of COVID. So I'm really excited that we get a chance to chat me through it, tell me a little bit about it. So, Dave, when last you were here, you said that the farm show was aiming for a 2026 relaunch.
Correct.
And now we have a little bit more of a sense of what the date will be. What are we looking at? What's it going to be?
Well, it's looking at 27, and
Okay.
there's still a lot of pieces that need to be pulled together to actually make it happen. It's complicated putting the show together. There's a lot of moving pieces that need to be organized and in place. Financing it is a big issue.
Yep.
Yeah, what the show will actually look like, it'll be different than the previous farm shows.
Yeah.
And I think some of those changes are pretty exciting.
I know, I'm excited. We're going to talk through some of what those changes were.
Some really exciting opportunities.
Some exciting opportunities.
I get excited when you're just talking about it.
I know, exactly. I want to jump right into it. Well, and Theresa, it sounds like that it was not a foregone conclusion that the farm show was going to come back. It was a close call?
Kind of. The previous officers of the board were proposing to dissolve the organization, which would mean no show.
No show.
And so a subset of the board thought, is there an alternative to dissolving for an interim period where we could do this stakeholder engagement and information gathering process, which we did this past winter. And we gathered a lot of information, and most importantly, what we gathered was that Vermont still wanted a show.
Yeah.
Right. And so
this was the listening tour.
Yes.
And the listening tour. So what were you doing? Zoom meetings, community gatherings? How did you do it?
So we dispersed a survey that was electronic that anybody could take. We organized 5 community gatherings in person around the state, and then we did, I think, 16 different Zoom-based focus groups that were, anybody could join, but the idea was that they would be representative of a specific sector within agriculture in Vermont.
Right, so getting all of the different parties to talk about, bring their different perspectives to the table. And what did you learn? Like, what did you learn from these talks? I mean, we learned that there was interest. What else?
But people had a wide variety of ideas about what the farm show could look like, when it should happen, and it was really interesting to hear that. So I heard some new ideas, some ideas I'd never even thought of, and people talking about the old farm show and what they really valued in the old farm show. For me, it was really educational and helped gin up my enthusiasm about the show.
It got you excited about it all over again,
all
reliving
over
the
again,
memories. Well, that's great. Actually, could you maybe, so since I missed it, and there might be others who are watching this who don't have a memory of the farm show, can you paint a picture for us about what it was like, maybe in its heyday? What was it like?
Well, it was a series. You'd walk in, and there was a series of exhibitors, equipment dealers, service providers, in their booths, and the farmers just walking around, gathering information, making contacts, and I had conversations with several folks who were there. And one of the things they valued the most about the farm show was not only seeing the equipment dealers or seed dealers, but also seeing other farmers. It's a socializing,
social gathering.
that they hadn't seen for months.
Yeah.
Which is really important, especially when the farm show first started. Farmers didn't have as many opportunities as they do now.
Right, and farmers are busy.
And farmers are busy.
So having a whole, a night, a couple of days to be able to come and commune and talk with each other.
And the meetings that were held at the farm show were just important events for people, for social events.
I want to follow up on that a little bit. So associations, that was actually a big piece of the farm show, right? Was giving those different types of associations, whether it's dairy, whether it's maple, an opportunity to have their annual meetings and get a chance to come together during that valuable time. Is that something that is envisioned for the new farm show?
It would be great to have that happen. A lot of associations have kind of splintered off, so to speak, and they have their own annual meetings and events.
Sure,
and
it's
many trade
been a
shows.
hiatus.
Yes,
right.
And a large something I think a lot of people don't know about the actual makeup of the previous board was that it was mainly association representatives on the board. So they had a vested interest in the success of the show because they were representing their producer association, and therefore there was value for them also to hold their meetings at the show.
I see. So does that mean that the constituency of the board has changed?
In some ways, yes,
okay.
And going forward, yes, it will change. Although we do want people representative of our audience base, which could be youth and ag, could be a variety of different producers, as well as people with experience in nonprofit, etc.
Well, let's talk about that audience base. So on the listening tour too, when you were hearing about who should be a part of the farm show, what does Vermont ag look like, right? I mean, agriculture is always changing. Vermont agriculture is certainly changing. So how will, and you wanted the show to be more inclusive in the sort of the 2.0 version. So what is that going to look like? Who's going to be a part moving forward?
Well, it's still part of the puzzle. But we're hoping that it can appeal to ag producers of all scales and all types. So
let's get those small farms in there too.
And the exhibitor makeup may change. We don't have as many equipment dealers, so to speak, in the state. So it's going to be different makeup of service providers, resources, and also those who can provide more tool-based services. But then I see it's going to be a space that's going to support youth engagement, youth empowerment, a lot more opportunity for hands-on experiential type learning. So whether that's small, not workshops necessarily, but small maybe panels or demonstrations, maybe taste tests, maybe even opportunities for people to buy Vermont products. So the product competition was a huge piece of the farm show, which may also stay, but then also how do we highlight products so that people coming in see what Vermont is producing in a wide variety of products.
In the lore of the farm show, I heard about the public night, right? Wednesday night, public night. You've got politicians milking cows. You've got cooking competitions happening, and this drew in a big public audience. And I hear that for the 2.0 version, one of the hopes is to get more of the public in there. So what are the types of things? It sounds like there'll be more things for public engagement.
I think there will be, and one of the things I would like to see is more opportunity to showcase Vermont food products, and opportunities for folks to sample that. That was always a challenge in the past, and the Wednesday evening events were always pretty popular, and amazing to see the entrepreneurs with their various food products, the effort they went in to present their product in an appealing way. They put a lot of effort into that, and I think the farm show should support that going forward. Because food is important, and
And we've got legislators who are in attendance, and we
Yeah.
want to engage them around the topic of agriculture, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. If I may, if this is a
Please.
good time, I would love to share like our working mission.
Absolutely.
And that is that the Vermont Farm Show builds knowledge and community among farmers and the general public while celebrating Vermont's diverse agricultural sector. So
Okay.
this idea of gathering, learning, as well as celebrating really came through on this process we went through. And that learning, seeing, tasting, touching, you know,
Yes.
really like getting
Hands-on.
Yes.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
And celebratory, you know, that it is going to be a space for farmers to come together and gather as they used to and enjoy. But
Well, that's an important part of the timing. This was always a mid-January show, snow on the ground. Everybody's a little down. We just had Christmas. It's dark. This was an important time for everyone to be able to come and be together. Do you think you're going to stick with that same timing?
That's an ongoing conversation. If you're back when the farm show started,
Yeah.
you know, farmers don't really have slow seasons. They have slower
Slower.
seasons.
Yeah, that's it.
So if you were a dairy farmer, January, fairly slow. So I think that was part of the conversation. But there are other things to consider, you know, the weather,
Yes.
the location,
Yes.
the ability to have outside exhibits.
Okay.
You can't do hard to do that in January.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you worry about the weather. But that's been an ongoing conversation, and trying to. And there are pluses and minuses, you know,
Yes.
no matter how you look at it.
Yes.
So we're working on that.
Yeah. Yes.
we heard a lot of feedback around location as well, location and time of year. So it's like central Vermont, everyone kept coming back to that was easy for most people around the state to gather somewhere that was more centrally located. And there were a lot of ideas that it would be great to have it during the time of year where there could be outdoor demonstrations
Yes.
as well. So
Yes.
could it be farm-based? Could it? So
Yes.
there's still a lot we need to go through
There's
as
a
far
lot,
as the
right.
visioning of
Yes.
the event.
Well, and we have until 2027.
Yeah.
So you have some visioning time. It sounds like that definitely the envisioning process is underway. It's just good to know that 2.0 is on the books.
Yeah.
And you're going to want to stay up to date on all things Vermont Farm Show. And you can do that by visiting their website. It's listed on the screen, vtfarmshow.com. Dave, Theresa, I want to thank you today for joining me to talk about the Vermont Farm Show, you know, for helping paint a picture for me, for those of us who didn't get a chance to participate and be a part of it before. Really looking forward to this. And thank you, Vermont, for joining us. And thanks to the team that makes Across the Fence possible. I'm Amy Finley. This is Across the Fence. Come back and let's learn and explore again tomorrow.